Hi, my name is Mark Hundley, and this is Tuesday, April 14th, and I'm live at 5. Um, in another part of my career, I was an English teacher. I taught English, and I have been on this planet long enough that I can now call myself and refer to myself as both an old and a former English teacher. And I believe as an English teacher that words really do mean something, that they matter in the way we use them, the way we define them, the way we put them in place and in order. A few days ago, you'll remember that we talked a little bit about loss. We defined loss as the absence of, the deprivation of, or the removal of a person, place, or thing that is a part of one's routine. So that takes loss out of an isolated and perhaps smaller arena of death, and it expands it into multiple kinds of experiences and arenas. And we said that we are in the midst of a um, tremendous experience of loss on so many fronts. So we talked about loss being that way. We talked about then if we lose, we grieve. And we said that grief was a reactive process, that our mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and relational beings or arenas are affected, and we react in response to losses when they happen in our life. That was one side of the coin. The second side of the coin, we talked about mourning being what we do with what we feel. It's the process of externalizing and putting out into the world our thoughts, our feelings, our relationships, our beliefs. Um, so it affects us mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and relationally there, and we have to work to create meaning as a result of that. So that's kind of the front end of this two-part view of words. Let me talk with you about a couple of three other words that I think are important for us to put into some sort of context. Words, when we use them with ourselves and with others, help create mental, emotional, and relational landscapes within which we work. They're frameworks within which we work to connect and make sense of the world around us. One of those is resolution. Often when we hear the word resolution, we think that there's something finished, that we've resolved it, that there's a period that we've come to and it's a done deal. I have found that when I'm dealing with myself and with others in the arena of making sense of the tragedies and the traumas and the uncertainties that we face in life, that sometimes resolution needs to be redefined. So I like to think of resolution in terms of a microscope. If you go back to freshman biology, where you were looking at small little drops of water and ferreting out all of the microscopic creatures that were there, and identifying them. Let's say that you lost one, or you needed to get a closer look, and you were panicked because you couldn't find the creature that you were looking at. The teacher might come over and ask you to back the slide down and adjust the resolution on the microscope. So when I think about how we use the word resolution in terms of dealing with uncertainty, I like to say let's stop. Whenever I feel myself overtaxed, overstressed, overburdened, perhaps it's time for me to stop, back the slide down, adjust the microscope, adjust the resolution on the microscope so I can get a better look at what it is that's in front of me, so that I can maybe do a better job of handling that. So maybe we can redefine and reuse resolution. The second word that I want to add to this litany of words is reconciliation. Now, there are some of you, I know because I'm kind of seeing who's watching, there are some of you out there who really know what a bank statement is and what a checkbook register is. I know that because you're as old as I am, or close. You don't have to be as old as I am to know that. And I think back to the times when in the mail I would get my bank statement, and I would open it up, and I would have my checkbook register and my bank statement side by side, and I would look at my statement and my register, and I'd say, the bank is lying. I have more money than this. I know I have more money than this because my register tells me so. That bank owes me some money. They're stealing my money. So I get my calculator out and my pen and my pencil, and I add, subtract, I multiply and divide, and I go, oh my, I forgot to carry the one. That decimal's in the wrong place, or gosh, what happened to check 445 anyway? And so what I had to do was go through the process of reconciling my bank statement and my checkbook register. And so often in life, that's what we have to do. We really believe that life is going to be a certain way. We anticipate it. We believe it. We want it to be so. When it's not, we have to look and say, okay, this is what I want life to be, which is my checkbook register. This is what life tells me it is, which is my bank statement. So I have to go through a process of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. I have to mourn. I have to adjust and adapt so that I come to terms with that what I have in my bank account is the same as what's on my statement. That's the process of reconciliation. When I do that with my life, I am then able to carry that balance forward into the next month, the next week, the next set of engagements, the next set of challenges. In life, it's the same way. When life isn't what I thought it would be, and I'm able to reconcile and come to terms with what I do have, what it is really in front of me, and what I have available to me, then I can actually take those real resources, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and relational resources, and move them into the next part of my life. The last word I want to share with you today is integration. Integration is the process of taking what I've learned and making it a part of me, making a part of my feeling, my thinking, my believing, my acting, my connecting. And if I can do that, if I can integrate the lessons that I've learned by sharpening the focus of my life, by reconciling myself to what life really is in front of me right now, and begin to reinvest and put those lessons in order, then I have actually learned to integrate those lessons into my life. So I'm just adding a few more words to your vocabulary, perhaps in a different way. And this is from an old and former English teacher, because really and truly, words matter. Thank you for spending some time with me today. It's great to see you. Peace.